Everybody, welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365. I'm Den Haring. Today is January 18th, and you may be wondering why this Christmas tree is still up. Well, my son's birthday is January 6th, my daughter's birthday is January 12th, and my daughter especially likes to have the tree up at least until her birthday, maybe even a week after. So we'll be taking the tree down tomorrow. But it seems appropriate that the tree is up because right now I'm going to be opening a big portion of my Christmas presents. It's going to be a big unboxing. Every year, when somebody asks me, what do I want for Christmas, I always say the same thing. Gift certificate to Tackle Warehouse, gift certificate to Bass Pro, Cabela's, gift certificate to Susquehanna Fishing Tackle, wherever the place may be, it's always a gift certificate related to fishing. And in this particular case, I have about $500 worth of unboxing here to do for you, so it's a pretty big one, but it's an important one because at this time of year, most of what I'm getting is in preparation for the coming season, the coming fishing season. So I thought you might be interested in what I'm doing and what I'm getting in preparation for fishing in 2025. All right, so let's get started. The first one here I want to open, this came from eBay actually. If you remember a few videos ago, I was talking about a crankbait from Jan's Netcraft called the PC200. And I was trying to find more of them. I have 4 left, and I would like to get some more just for security reasons, so I have some because you can lose them quickly, and they catch a lot of fish. So I did some research and found that the PC200 was actually made to imitate this bait. This is a Lucky Craft CB200, a Moon Salt CB200. Let me take one of these out of the package. We'll show it to you. I've never owned this bait before, so I'm curious to see how it works compared to the PC200. But you can see it's a very similar bait, and it's even set up to have the rattles similar from what I read. The rattles are supposed to be similar to that of a lipless crankbait. Sounds a lot like a lipless crankbait. And so if that's the case, the sound should be similar. The one difference between the Lucky Craft and the PC200 from Jan's is the Lucky Craft is heavier, which is not necessarily a bad thing if it works similarly because you'll be able to cast it easier, further. So I'm liking that. So stay tuned because in the future I'll be doing an episode where we're checking this thing out. I'll probably make the hooks a little larger. I don't like this, the size of those hooks look a little small to me, but I do like the look of the bait. It looks exactly like the shape of the PC200, and I'm looking forward to fishing this and reporting to you how well I do with it. Now, I just happen to have some baits that I've already opened that I want to share with you because it came out of this video with the PC200 because I talked about that hunting action where the bait goes off to the side and back to the center. A few people commented in and to let me know about this bait. This is the Strike King Hybrid Hunter, and I've known about the bait for a while, but I haven't had a chance to fish it. Well, I bought 4 of them. Here's a good red color for early spring. Here's a really nice shad looking bait. They all have these strong rattles in and this interesting lip. That lip design, from what I understand, really helps it come through weeds amazingly well. So I'm looking forward to throwing this around milfoil. Here's one that looks a little more like a bluegill, but with that orangish, pinkish belly. And then I've got a larger one here, a larger size hybrid hunter for when I'm after those big trophy bass down there at Nakamixon. So that's the hybrid hunter. We got those recently as well. I've already taken the hooks off because I've always replaced the hooks with the Gamakatsu EWGs. All right, next up is from our friends at Surreal Bait Company. This one's going to be a good one. So I've been using this bait. I started with it last year. I bought it when I was down in Florida. Can't find them around here in Pennsylvania. And I got an email from one of the guys at Surreal thanking me for doing a review on their website about their baits. I did a review because I really like the Ice Glider, which is the bait that I bought. It's a topwater lure. Caught me a lot of fish last year. Looking forward to using it more in 2025. So I responded back saying you're welcome, and I also sent him a couple of YouTube videos. And when I sent those, he was really thankful that I did the YouTube videos on them. And when I bought these, I bought some more Ice Gliders. He decided to send me a couple baits for free to try out, which was great. So we'll be doing that in the near future. So let me show you these guys. Show you what I bought, and then the additional baits that he sent me. All right, so what I bought were 3 Ice Gliders. This is the topwater walk the dog bait. I bought one. This is the one that I already have. It's black and silver in color, and I bought these other two, a golden shiner looking one, and I'm going to pull the alewife looking one out for you to see. It's a purple back. That color is called Purple Haze. So somebody, Jimi Hendrix fan, somebody out there perhaps. So let's pull this out there for you just so you can see because the bait is really well made. It comes out of the package looking really good. I love that red gill. I like the purple on there. I really like that little bit of chartreuse. I mean, they think of everything on this bait. And the interesting thing about the ice glider is it doesn't sit at a 45. It sits more level. But boy, it walks the dog really well. And you could fish it extremely fast, and it works the right way fast. It just looks like a panicked minnow. I did great for striper on this largemouth bass. This year coming up, I'm going to nail the smallmouths on it. Can't wait. Can't wait to fish it. But that's the ice glider. And you can get those baits at surreal.com, I believe, is the website. It's SURREEL. And they are really good. The ice glider is really good. I haven't tried these others, but let's take a look at what else he sent me here. This one is a twitch bait. Now, I don't know if this sinks or floats, but I suspect it may sink. Let's get it out of the pack for you here. So it comes with a little tail feather. It's a little smaller in size than the ice glider. Hopefully you can see that there. But boy, it's got the right shape, doesn't it? Look at that thing. And it's called Twitch Bait, 75 millimeters. This one's called Greenback. Nice color. I don't know what this does. I'll have to get out there and see it. But I noticed that it's got single hooks on it, not trebles. So we'll have to see how this is supposed to be fished. I don't think there's... Let's see what it says about it. And it just talks about the finish on the lure. It does say retrieve this lure with at various speeds using a twitching action. I'm hoping that it actually sinks. It goes under the water and that you just twitch it and you walk the dog with it under the water. That'll be cool. If that's the case and it works good, I'll be buying more of these because I like that kind of action. Good smallmouth bait. All right, so that's that's the twitch bait. Now they've also sent me excuse me, just need a little iced tea here. Okay, so they also sent me another bait that looks like a golden shiner, and it's a slow sinking jerk bait. Oh man, this looks nice. Look at that. So that's their slow sinking jerk bait. It's got the lip on it. Good golden shiner color. This color is actually called, it might not be written on this bait. Not sure what the color is. Just says slow sinking 90 millimeter, 11 gram weight. And it's just not on the tags. Probably golden shiner or something like that, but it's got a really good look to it. It looks natural, right? It's got the right shape. Looking forward to trying this one out, seeing how this one works as well. Red hooks, nice feather tail on there. We'll test this out and we'll let you know how we do, but I'm very impressed with that ice glider. If it's anything like those ice glider, if that ice glider works, it's going to be a lure I really like. All right, let's start opening some of these Tackle Warehouse boxes now. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, opening these, I found that using a little X-Acto blade works really well. It doesn't cut too deep, but it cuts the tape very easily. Okay, so let's get this thing open. We got all kinds of stuff in here. Holy moly. All right, where do we start? We're going to start with this bait right here. So this is a Spro rock crawler. I'm a little late to the game on the rock crawler. I've got one here that's RK55. I know I bought another one, so there's probably another one in the box. It's an RK50, I believe. But these are kind of like the famous wiggle wart in that they work really well in cold water along the bottom, reeling it along rocks. So that's the rock crawler. I never fished this bait before. I'm looking forward to fishing it this year. Now here's another one. I'm going to pull this one out of the box for you. This is made by Megabass, and it is called a flap slap. Now I have two of these flap slaps already, but this one's different. It's a deeper diver, a deep diving one. This one is a threadfin shad color. And if you're not familiar with this bait, I'll recommend that you might want to check it out because it catches fish. Now, I have the shallow runners. So I have the shallow runner. This is the deep runner in threadfin shad. Boy, that looks really good. The color is fantastic. Hopefully you can see it. It's got that black back, dark bluish on the top of the backs near the sides, and just a little bit of that yellow chartreuse around the fin. Really nice looking bait there. Looking forward to fishing the deep diver. I don't know much about. I have the shallow running ones. They only go a few feet, 3, 4, 5 feet. This one will go down a little deeper, but the shallow divers have a really unique action and they catch fish. They're billed as a cold water bait, but I catch them in the summer on it as well. So this is a really good bait. It looks like a shad, has that shad shape to it. And a lot of people I don't think know very much about it, but I remember Edwin Evers brought this thing out probably a dozen years ago now, and maybe even longer. Anyway, the bait works really well. It catches fish. You may want to look into it. All right, let's go to the next bait, the floating Shad Wrap. And I got this bait because of a video that I watched from Mike Iaconelli in the shop. And he talked about how he fishes this bait, how he'll upgrade the hooks to put heavier hooks on it, and that it becomes a cold water killer for him when he upgrades it because he can, the way he works it in the water. And if I'll try this out, and if it works well for me, I will do a video on it. But I had to buy a few of these just to see if it works the way he said it did, and I have no reason to believe it won't. But this is a shallow running Shad Wrap. It's got that angled lip again, kind of like the Hybrid Hunter. We'll see how it works, and I will report back to you. Then I've got this is another Rapala OG series. This is the Rocco, but a bigger size. Now last year I fished the Rocco a lot in spring with my brother and caught a lot of fish on it. It's a square bill crankbait, but this is a larger sized Rocco. It's a Rocco on steroids. If it works like the little one, it's going to be a killer because this thing just catches, the little one catches fish like crazy. The thing that makes the Rocco unique is that as soon as you start reeling in, it wiggles. It just starts right off and has a really good action. So I'm looking forward to trying the larger Rocco this year, hopefully catching some bigger fish on it. And I just chose this black and silver pattern, real good shad imitator. Can't go wrong with this pattern, by the way. It's simple, but it catches fish. Dark back, lighter bottom, whitish belly, that catches fish all over. All right, I got a couple of these now because this has got interesting. So Blade Runner, who was selling these Duh spoons, has a deal with Nichols now. I don't know if they sold the rights to Nichols, but Nichols now is making these Duh spoons that I like so much, the DUH spoon. I got one here, and I think it's 3/4 ounce and 1 1.5 ounce, or 1 3/4. And because Nichols has it now, they come with all the right hardware on it. And I'll pull this one out for you so you can see it. So this one comes with a nice Mylar tail feather, big oversized hook, and it comes with a swivel. So it won't twist your line because it'll turn on that swivel. So that's kind of nice. You can just tie right to that and it'll have that crazy action going down, but it'll never twist your line. I like these Duh spoons. You know that I do if you watch my channel, and I'm looking forward to fishing these. This one is a Dirty Jigs bait I lost last year. So this is meant to replace one that I lost. Show this to you here. I thought that these came 2 in a pack, but this is a single here. Otherwise I would have bought 2 of them. But this is a tiny little underspin. See how small this is? So you can put a little 2.8 Kitech or a little tiny swim bait on there and you got the little underspin. And yet it's got a pretty heavy head so you can get it down deep. That's why I bought this bait. It was meant to replace one that I lost last year. I like the way these fish. They fish nice. Okay, so this is a pretty big swim bait. It's a burrito. This is a burrito bait. And I bought a burrito last year. Let me see if I can open this for you guys. And I was fishing it. And I fished it quite a bit at Lake Nakamixon, but it was the 6-inch burrito. You can see this is a 5-inch burrito, but it's still a big bait because it's got that wider profile. And I was getting a lot of short hits on the 6-incher, and I got a lot of fish interested in it. It helped me find fish last year because I got a lot of fish following it. But because I was getting those short hits, I thought I'd buy the 5-inch one and try that out and see how that works. I really like the look of the bait. I believe this one's called Gizzard Shad, Tactical Shad. This is probably a special color from the guys at Tactical Bass. And look at the eyes on that thing. It's going to catch fish. It has a really good action. You just throw it out there, you let it go to the bottom, and then you just reel it in slow. It has a good action. The fish aren't used to seeing baits that big, and well, they are now maybe, but or they're getting more used to it because more and more people are throwing bigger baits. But again, this bait is a good bait. The burrito is a known fish catcher, and I'm looking forward to throwing this one this year. This is another shallow Shad Wrap, same as what I showed before. And this is that rock, another rock crawler, a nice color there. That's a good crayfish imitation. If you watched my videos last year, you know that I really got liking the 6 Sense Vega frog. So I bought one in a color that I think is better than what I had previously. We'll show this one to you right now. This one's called Baby Bluegill. I like this one. I'll probably cut these tails about a ½ inch to an inch off the tails. It's got that white belly, little orange there, and then it's got the bars and the bluegill looking stripes. Good looking bait. Looking forward to fishing this in the summer. Keeping with the frogs, I bought this frog from Savage Gear because I was hoping to find the frog that they used to sell, and I don't know if they just changed the name. They used to sell a frog called the Lily Ninja Frog. They also had a Lily Ninja Mouse. And when I looked online, it looked a lot like this bait. This bait is called a DC Walker frog, but it's not the same. And that was the thing. I read complaints about the DC Walker frog about it being a little stiff, and it's definitely a lot stiffer than the Ninja Lily. I wonder why they would do that. The Ninja Lily frog was a great frog. I have a few left. It catches fish like crazy, and it presses down so easily that the hookup ratio is fantastic on it. I could already tell you this is going to be a little bit of an issue because it's just too damn stiff. I love the color of the frog. Look at that bluegill looking color and purple. I'll boil it. You know, I think I did a video on that where you can throw these ones that are stiff in a pot of boiling water for about 5 minutes, and oftentimes that'll make them less stiff. But I'm definitely going to have to boil this one before I fish it because I just feel that it's too stiff. The hooks are exposed a little bit, but not well enough for my liking. I'll have to boil it. But boy, I sure do like the color. Look at that. That's a nice color. Another nickel spoon. Now this is a frog that I know won't be stiff. This is another good one. This is the Gacho. I have this. I did a video on the Gacho, but again, the frog that I had, I wasn't crazy about the color. So I went and I bought me a bluegill colored Gacho. This is a good bait. This one is not stiff. It goes down real easy, and I'll probably cut the back tail down just a little bit. I like the yellow on the tails. I like the bars. You know, I like that orange. I might even put a little yellow on the belly, but this is a great looking bluegill pattern. And the reason why I'm so interested in bluegill patterns now, and I'll put that video right here for you to see. I did a video looking at the baits from underwater, and when you had that bluegill pattern with the bars and the lighter belly and darker back, it made a much better profile from that 45-degree angle. It just looked more natural than, say, a color that might be dark from top to bottom, or colors that don't change or without any yellow or white in them. That white and yellow adds that flash to the bait, and it just makes it look more realistic from underwater. And therefore, and I fish a lot of bluegill lakes where they're in the pads, so that's why I wanted the bluegill color. This is a really good frog, by the way. All right, get down in this box. So this is a fish head dude. These are basically just scrounger heads. These are ½ ounce scrounger heads because I wanted them a little heavier for bigger baits. I want to put some bigger flukes on this and fish them on a scrounger head, which makes them work almost like a chatterbait. Looking forward to fishing those. And I did buy a second underspin with a gold spinner instead of a silver. Had to see what this was all about. This is called the Shadron. It's made by Z-Man, so it's made of that tough material, so it'll last a lot longer. It'll catch fish, a lot more fish before it ends up becoming a problem. And this is a realistic looking bait. The color I chose here is called Fishbone, I believe, but it looks like a shad. It's 4.5 inches. I'm going to take it out of the package and show it to you here because this thing is impressive with how it looks. Hopefully it'll work as good as it looks. Let me get it out of there without hurting it. There we go. Wow, look at that. So it's got that angled hook on it on the top, and it's sharp. It's got that wedge tail, that little boot tail, or however you call that. Boy, that looks anatomically like a gizzard shad, a little gizzard shad. So I'll have to throw this in and tell you what I think. It's heavy, so it'll get down a little bit. It's not too wide either. It's not too thick from side to side. So I really think that this is going to be a fish catcher. And I'm looking forward to fishing it. And it'll hold up better too because of that Elastec. This is going to be fun to fish. All right, and then we got some more from Z-Man here. This I had to find out more about. This is called the Graph Shad. And it comes with an extra tail. It comes pre-rigged. Boy, this thing, look at how realistic this looks. This is a great looking, realistic looking bait. So you notice there's no line tie on the head. That's because the line tie goes through the head, out the bottom, and then it ties to the bottom so that the bait is always horizontal. And so this is meant to be fished vertically, Damiki style, or you could also fish it as a strolling bait, that kind of thing. But boy, I'm looking forward to to throwing this just under the boat and Damikiing it and making it look like you just hold it down there and it looks real. It's just floating in front of the fish's face. Again, it's Z-Man, so it's got that Elastec material, and so it's going to hold up a lot better. And it even comes with an extra tail, which is also nice. Looking forward to fishing these. I got 4 of them in various colors. I got some of the colors I've got are electric shad. I think that's what this one is right here that I've showed you. And then I've got more electric shad, 3 electric shads, and then finally a pearl color, a white color. Good smallmouth and striper color there. All right, we're down to the last 2. This is a new company that I'm not so familiar with that I thought I'd show you a little bit about. This is an interesting lure here. It's called a Papa Walker. Papa Walker by a Thunderhawk is the name of the company that makes this. And let me show you this bait. So the thing that makes this bait unique is the tail. It comes with a soft plastic tail. It's a pretty large bait. I'll probably upsize those hooks. It's meant to walk the dog, but you can see the mouth on that thing is open, so it's going to make a commotion and pop too. And it even comes with an extra tail to insert, as you can see here. Now, you might think that this thing looks a bit gimmicky, right? But I don't think it is, because I watched a video on it on YouTube, and I really liked how it looked in the water. It had a really nice action, so I thought, I'm going to buy it. I'll play with it and see what I think, and then I'll share with you on my channel, probably on an upcoming Topwater Tuesday, what I think of the bait. So looking forward to trying this thing out. It's a pretty large profile when that tail is at it, but I'm looking forward to trying it and getting back to you with what I think. The video indicated that it was a very versatile bait. You can pop, you can walk the dog, you can slide, you could actually fish it as a wake bait. So lots of ways to fish the bait, and that's why I bought it. Now, when I looked at the Thunderhawk lures, they had another bait that interested me right away, and that is the SGT half-ounce lipless crank. Why was I interested in this? It's hard these days to find lipless crankbaits that are silent. And you can make your own, you can make them silent, but that's kind of a pain. And this one, I really like the color of it, and you know what? It's silent. So look at this bait. Looks just like a crappie. Has that that shape of a crappie, but it has a nice bait fish color and profile. It's thin. When I buy lipless crankbait, I like them to be thinner than wider across the back. And I think this thing is going to catch fish. It actually comes with EWG hooks already. I can't wait to fish this bait. It's a half ounce, so it'll go down pretty decent. Sometimes that lipless crankbait bite will be really good with the rattles in it. Sometimes it'll shut off after you've caught some, or if there's a tournament going on. And then if you come behind some of those people with another lipless without any rattles in it, it could be lights out. I've experienced this myself, so this is why I've got this bait. I'll check it out, and again, I'll report to you what we think. But we're not done yet. We've got more, so let's go and see what we got in this box. Okay, so what we have in here is 2 things. A fishing reel and some more of these scrounger type heads. These are called fish head dudes. They have an actual fish head on them. And this is a 3/8 ounce, so a little bit lighter than the other one that I bought. Now, I bought this fishing reel. This is a Shimano Cardiff. I needed a reel, and I chose the Cardiff. I'll show you why in a minute. So this is a round style reel, and here's why I got it. I have invested in a rod recently, this past year. This is my glide bait slash big swim bait setup. It's a Shimano SLX rod. Not a very expensive rod, but it gets the nod from when you're fishing these 2 ounce and higher baits. I think it's, how big is this rod? It's a 7 foot 8 inch rod, so it's got good length to it. And I started getting into this swim bait thing in 2024, and I'm going to be delving into it a lot more in 2025. And I felt that I needed the right equipment to do it. And I had the rod, but I didn't have the reel. This is just an old Curado 100. It doesn't have the capacity that I need, but this will. So that's why I bought the Cardiff. This is the Cardiff 200. It's got plenty of line capacity for fishing these big baits, throwing them out further, fishing for big bass, big stripers, that kind of thing. This is the reel that'll be paired up with this rod. It's also a little heavier, so it'll actually balance out the rod better for me as well. So that's the reason why we got the Cardiff. It feels good. Looking forward to spooling that up and getting it on there so that I have the appropriate, and I like this drag. Star drag is very large, so that's easier to get a hold of and tighten or loosen when you need to. So really nice deal with the Cardiff there. One last box, and I have to tell you that it feels like there's nothing in it. So I think it's we're coming down to the end now. It might just be some more of those fish head scrounger heads. I'm not sure. I don't remember what I got everything of what I got anymore. So, but we'll open this one up and we'll show it to you. It's mostly paper. And I'm right. They use this giant box to give me a few scrounger heads. That's all that's in here, folks. Sorry. So, but these are 1/4 ounce. So I ran the gambit with these fish head scrounger type heads. 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce, 1/2 ounce. So that I can hit the different appropriate water depths with my baits. And with that ends the unboxing here. This might be the most expensive unboxing I've ever done. I'm not sure, but it's about $500 worth of stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if it meant something to you, if you felt it was some good information with some interesting baits and giving you my thought process, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to see a really good video on how to make a lizard work even more effectively for you, take a look at this one right here. Until next time, be safe out there. Hope to see you on the water this year. And may God bless your fishing endeavors.